Okay, so now that we have done with the percentages, so let's now take a look at the second type of math calculation that we will be using in finance, and that basically means raising to the power. So when we say we are raising something to a power, in simple language, it's basically how many times am I multiplying this number by itself. So if I have something like a number x raised to the power y, that's written as basically x raised to the power y. Basically what it means is I am multiplying x with itself y times. Okay, and we'll go through a few examples that will make it clear what we mean by this. So why do we need to go ahead and make sure we have a good handle on this? Because several times in a lot of finance calculations, for example, if you want to calculate how much money you're going to end up with at the end of some few years of your investments, this is the type of calculation that's involved in making all of those estimates. Okay. Now, again, we are not going to go ahead and do all of these calculations manually by entering all these formulas and things like that. So what we are going to do is we're going to use the spreadsheet's built-in functions. But we want to make sure that we have a good handle on how these things actually are calculated, how they work. Okay, so let us suppose now I have 2 raised to the power 4. Okay, what does this mean? It means 2 is multiplied with itself 4 times. So that basically means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. All right, 2 multiplied with itself 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the answer should be 16. If I, for example, have 1.162 raised to the power 3, what does this mean? This means it's 1.162 multiplied with itself, but 3 times, not 4. Okay, so that's basically 1.162 multiplied by itself, which is 1.162 3 times. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And we will see the answer should be 1.569, somewhere thereabouts. Now, try them in sheets on your own using the formula for multiplication like this. So what is the first thing we should remember? Of course, you're entering formulas. So the first thing you should enter should be the equal to sign followed by all of these numbers. So try it out yourself for a couple of, and you can pause the video here, try it out yourself, and then we can see how we can do these calculations in Google Sheets. Okay, so when I'm going ahead and calculating this 2 raised to the power 4, so what can I do? I need to multiply 2 4 times, right? So I can enter the number 2 in 4 cells, and then I can use the cell reference IDs to calculate the result. So I can do it like this. So I can enter 2 4 times because I'm doing 2 raised to the power 4, and then I can multiply them all out, right? So this value times this times this times that, and I get 16. If I have 1.162 raised to the power 3, what can I do? I can write out this 1.162 3 times and then multiply them all out, and then I can get 1.1569. Okay. Now there's an alternative way I can also enter this value. So I can simply enter the 2 and the 4. Okay. And then I will use the symbol here, which means raising to the power. Okay. So where is this symbol on the keyboard? So let me show you where it is. I can go back to the keyboard here, and you can see it's right above the number 6. Okay. Now, of course, the position will change depending on what keyboard you have, but this is basically to show you what symbol I'm using. Okay. So how can I go ahead and enter this? So I have gone ahead and entered the number 2 and the 4, and then I've entered the number 2 and the 4, and then I can use this symbol for raising to the power. Okay, so I'm going to take 2, which is in cell A45, raised to the power 4, which is in cell B45. So that's column B, row 45. Okay. Similarly, for the next one, I will only enter these two numbers, which is 1.162 and 3. So this is the number I'm going to multiply 3 times. So what will I do? I'll say equal to this value followed by the raised to the power symbol 3. Okay. And you can see, because the calculations are correct, the numbers should match what we had earlier. So this is basically how I can go ahead and enter these kinds of raising to the power exponents type of calculations. Okay. And as I said before, why is this important? The reason this is important is in many finance calculations, like if you want to figure out, hey, I invested so much, I got this kind of a return, how much will I have at the end of my investment horizon of, let us say, 5 years or 4 years or whatever it is. Okay. So these kinds of exponent type calculations, raising to the power type calculations, that's what is going to help us get the answer. So we'll go ahead and work through a simple example in the upcoming video.